We are live. Hey guys, I'm Wolfie, and today we are going to check out the latest in 49ers news, which really is just Debo. One thing about Brock Purdy, of course, according to Jed York, that's an interesting thing what he has to say. And then we'll jump into some free agents that are coming up for the 49ers to possibly address, possibly look at. I've done a deep dive on a few D tackles in this upcoming free agent class. So based on PFF, their grade. So I got 4 of them I think the 49ers should definitely take a look at. That would definitely upgrade the 49ers D tackle situation, especially heading to the draft. D-end wise, I haven't jumped into that, but we'll do that together. So we're going to check out the free agent class D-end wise and see if we can get them, see if they're affordable, etc. Because some just may be out of our reach, such as Josh Sweat coming off that Super Bowl win, and he's just out of the market at that point. So, and of course, before we get into anything else, you all know, this stream is brought to you by water. Without it, I wouldn't be here today. It's super good for you. It's good for your skin. It's good for your organs. It's good for your bowels, right? It's good for hangovers. It's super good for you. Go out there and drink a cup a day, at least a cup. That's all you got to do, and then do whatever the fuck you want after that. H2O, it's the way to go. All right. Congratulations, Nikita. I'm happy for you. Congratulations. Papa J in the house. Oh, and Nikita in the house. Papa J showing some love. That's what I like to see. How about the Chiefs says one in the house? Let's go. Let's do it. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into the first thing, which is 49ers star, which they're referring to Deebo Samuel in this case, is possibly going to go get traded somewhere. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. One of the places he actually wants to play at is the Steelers. And I'm personally, that makes sense. I mean, the Steelers have been all up in our junk since last year with Brandon Ayuk and his situation. So I'm really not surprised by that. And the Steelers still have a wide receiver issue, even though Deebo is more of a gadget player than he is actually a wide receiver, which I think is interesting. But they do need more weapons on that end. Personally, I think if I was the Steelers, though, I would address the quarterback situation before I go out and try to find a wide receiver or a weapon or trade for something like that. I want to make sure I have a quarterback to work with first if I was the Steelers. But let's just go ahead and take a look at this article here. I think there was a quote in here. If there's not, then we'll move on from this article. All right, here we go. All right. All right, here we go. All right. According to source from another NFL team, this could be any team possible, which I don't understand how that works. If you're saying another NFL team, it's got to be Steelers, right? If you're trying to connect Steelers to the 49ers, I think the other team has to be the Steelers, right? Samuel and his agent, Torrey Daniel, are absolutely going to attempt to engage with the Steelers, making them an immediate candidate if they are to share the same interest. As we know, they were interested in we all know that they were interested in Ayuk last year. They even called about Deebo last year as well. We should have traded him when we had the chance then, but I guess that just didn't happen. But I do think that the 49ers need to get rid of Deebo Samuel and possibly move on. I've been all for it, but the problem I always had with Deebo Samuel and the issue was he just cost way too much money to get rid of him this year. If we were to do it, it would have to be after June 1st just because that $31 million cap hit. It's not worth at that point, especially since all you would get for him in the end at this point is like a 5th or 6th or 7th rounder. So I would just trade him after June 1st, see if I can get like a 5th or a 6th for him next year, because I feel like that's kind of like it's not a high priority draft pick that you're going to get for the guy where it's like, oh, we got to get that pick this year. We got to get that 3rd. We got to get that 4th. No, it's going to be like a 5th at best, 6th or 7th or whatever after June 1st. I'd rather just do that and have a pick another 5th or 6th rounder next year in the next year's draft. I'd much rather just do that, trading Deebo that way. I just don't think it's smart to just trade Deebo with the cap hit. The only way that you would trade Deebo with that cap hit is if you package Deebo to get a significant piece. So if you had to get rid of Deebo to get another significant piece and you had to sacrifice that cap hit and it's worth it, someone such as Myles Garrett, for example, or some other package of some kind, then yes, I would say it's worth it because you are getting something bigger in the end that replaces Deebo to a sense, be it trading up in the draft, be it Myles Garrett, something of that nature, then I could live with it. But if it's just literally just a 5th or 6th round pick, I'm waiting till after June 1st. right? That's what I'm doing. If I can get a seventh pick next year or 2 years down the line, I'll do it then. I just don't think it's worth it to just take that cap hit. Wait after June 1st to take that cap hit. Save your it would be like $4 million or something like that, dead money, whatever, because you save $5 million, but the dead money is like $10 million. So I would much rather just wait after June 1st if you were to do it. But the Steelers are obviously interested, and they're gonna have to wait until after June 1st to get that kind of player. I think anyone else is, again, unless we get like a huge unless there's you package him for a bigger piece. That's the only way I actually do it. So the Steelers apparently are interested. And they're going to try and work something out there. The Steelers have some things the 49ers could be interested in. I heard TJ Watt might be on the move because he's on his contract year. That would be cool. I would do it then. They have a couple O linemen that'd be worth trading for. I think that'd be good. They have Freiermuth, though I do think they actually paid him already, so that wouldn't be an option. They have pieces that are worth trading for, getting rid of Debo and taking the cap hit. So if they could work something out, I'd be interested in that. But if it's just a pick, if it's just a 5th or 6th rounder, wait. Just wait until after June 1st to get rid of the guy because it's just not worth taking that kind of cap hit at that point. So, but yeah, Steelers are interested, guys. Steelers are interested. All right. I have no idea why everybody wants to go to the Steelers. They haven't done anything in like 10 years. I don't get it either. It's got to be I don't get that. Honestly, that's a good point, one. I don't understand the absolute love for the Steelers. And maybe it's because Mike Tomlin's favored by a lot of people, a lot of players respect and love Mike Tomlin. That could be where it comes from. And I mean, if you do have a good culture and a lot of people respect you, a lot of players would want to play for you. So maybe that's what it is. It's because Mike Tomlin, they want to go there. And they also are a historic franchise, dude. They have 6 Super Bowls. There's some things you can think of on the top of your head. But if you want to talk about the state of the team and what they're doing, I don't understand that part. That part I do not understand. At my doctor's appointment, so I'll be in and out for the next 20 minutes. Hey, man, good luck at your doctor's appointment. You always go to the doctor, man. I hope you're okay. Hope you're okay. Debo needed attention on Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, I didn't like that, personally, in my opinion. Chief Scott Cook says, Akina, yes, they did. Hit that like button. Hey, I appreciate it. Val in the house. Good to see you. Good to see it. Rams are dangerous in the house. Good to see it. I mean, he kind of came with a not insulting comment, so I'll give him a shout out. Why not? Everyone in the movie channel, how's your Monday going? It's going fantastic, y'all. It's all going great. Showing some love. That's what I like to see. All right. Rombo, I meal them. Send D to Raiders. Debo to the Raiders. I'm all for it. I wouldn't mind sending the Raiders. I mean, honestly, if you really want to talk about the trade package, this situation, you need to trade Debo to an AFC team. I understand that. I think Debo's washed. I think he's done. However, sometimes players tend to play better after like getting revenge, or if they have an opportunity to get revenge, they will work hard to get better, work hard to really actually hurt to that other team for trading him or get rid of him, even if he asks for the request. Debo's going to want, if he goes somewhere, he's going to go somewhere with the mindset of trying to prove the 49ers. This is his mindset, not what I'm saying, how I feel, but he's going to want to go to another team to prove them wrong, saying, hey, you should have given me more opportunities. That's how he's going to feel. And so he's going to give it his all wherever he goes. So if you were to trade him, you want to trade him to a place where he cannot get his revenge, so to speak, it's kind of like what the Browns would do. If they trade Myles Garrett, they can't do it within the rivalry, the division rival. I wouldn't trade him with an AFC. I'd trade him to NFC if I could. Same thing with Debo. I would solely focus on trading Debo to the AFC, so I never have to see that guy. Right? Or if I were to see him, it'd be somebody on the schedule for the AFC that we face this year, which are like the Colts, I think, stuff like that. I guess the Texans might be a bit of a threat, might be able to work with him a little bit with DeMeco Ryans, but yeah, you have to send Debo to the AFC is what I would do. That'd be like my main focus. So Steelers is a good option. Raiders is a good option. Bills are a good option, things of that nature. I'd be all for it. Those are good spots, but I would much rather go for the AFC because you don't want to deal with that kind of backlash. Like if he goes to a division, if you trade, like some people are actually saying, let's trade Cooper Kupp for Deebo Samuel. I hate those trades. He's not going to a division rival. And then some people would say, oh, Richard Sherman went to the 49ers. Richard Sherman was a free agent. He was a free agent. He wasn't traded there. Okay. It very rarely does a player get traded within division. Very rarely. It never happens. So whenever I see those trades or when someone says, oh, should the 49ers go after Cooper Kupp and trade for him? Stop it. Absolute nonsense content. I hate that shit so much. We're not trading for Cooper Kupp. It is not happening. We're not trading Deebo Samuel to the Rams or any other in-division rival. That's not fucking happening. Enough with those videos, people. It drives me mad when I see it. And I try not to take it personal, but it's just like that. It's nonsense. It's not happening. It's not happening. So, Spartan in the house. Good to see you. We're showing some love. No need to risk Deebo trade significantly coming back to bite us in the rear. Exactly. Somewhere where you rarely see him is where he should go. So, how expensive would Devontae Adams be? I actually have not checked out his contract. We could do that, actually. I have a few post-surgery visits to the doctor, so all good. Thanks for the concern, though, Wolfie. Yeah, of course, man. Like, it's in and out usually is not a good sign. Usually it's like, I don't want to put this juju on you. It was like cancer or some shit. So hopefully that's not the case. That's a bummer. Devontae Adams over the cap. Let's find out, actually. Devontae Adams contract. So Devontae Adams, I'll share the tab with you guys so you guys can see it. Pah! This is Devontae Adams if you guys are interested in what's going on there. His cap hit is pretty fucking large, $38 million. So if we traded for him, that'd be pretty big. $38 million this year, $38 million next year. Then he's got a void year. That year after that, just $4 million in dead cap. And then obviously $4 million here in 2028. God, that is a huge cap hit, guys. Let me zoom in a little bit if you guys can see that. $38 million in 2025, $38 million next year. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not interested in that. I have not looked at his cap. I've been interested in Devontae Adams, but I think he's a little bit washed now. But I don't know if I want to take on $38 million in cap. That's his cap number. That's the number we would take on. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. It could be also it could be the fact that, just real quick though, I could be wrong about one thing. I think what happens here is his cap hit would be $29 million because we take on $20 million of the cap, and then it'd be 32. But that still doesn't help. I think what we do is we take on the $32 million of the cap savings, and then we take on $29 million here and the 32 here. That's the cap that we would take for them. So it wouldn't be 38 both years. I think it's 29 this year and then 32 next year, and that is not worth it. That is not worth Devontae Adams. I'm sorry, but he's not the same player anymore. Not worth a game changer. Wouldn't be we have plenty of wide receivers to work with. I.e. Pearsall, Juwan Jennings. You got Kittle. I mean, if we desperately needed wide receivers, right? If we didn't have the wide receivers that we do, sure. But that's not worth it. I'm not doing that for Devontae Adams, man. Never. Yeah, Juwan's like, hell no, never mind. I did a rotator cuff surgery and cornea transplant, so the terminal, thank God, for sure. Dude, that sucked. Tara Dome in the house. Good to see you, man. Welcome. Oh, yeah, let's pass on that. No Devontae. Yeah, dude, pass on that. No wide receiver, dude, that's going to cost us $30 million, so we should pursue. Okay, if you want to get like some depth wide receiver or a wide receiver you think is going to be a steal down the line, that's going to cost you like $5 million, I'm all for it. But T. Higgins is a no. Cooper Kupp is even a no. If somehow he gets released and we can sign him, I guess that's a possibility because he's not going to get traded to us. That's a no. And I think Devontae Adams is a no. I think you should just get a depth wide receiver. I think that's all really 49ers need at that point, but nothing too crazy. So Michael in the house. Good to see you. Glad you're here, man. Glad you're here. Be sure to hit that like button, guys. If you haven't hit that like button already, it helps me out a lot. All right. Hey, Rams showing some love. That's what I like to see. Okay, we're showing some love. Hey, I like that. Some respect. Okay, so we're going back to Deebo situation real quick. Obviously, we just talked about his cap hit situation and what I had to say were like we should trade him after June 1st unless he becomes a package piece for something greater. That's the only way I would trade him in the end. So let's go ahead and jump into the places that NBC Sports thinks that the 49ers should are trade fits for Deebo Samuel. So let's get our opinions on that. If these are good trade fits you guys think is a good spot for him to go, try not to think too much about the cap hit situation. Just think about the fit. That's really the conversation here. So let me bring it up for you guys. prayers. Oh, hey, we're showing some love. That's why I see. Debo was toxic anyway. Wouldn't be surprised if he had a Kanye like crash out every loss. That's brutal, dude. That's brutal. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm tired to play wide receiver QB for the 49ers. I would, dude, I'd almost do that for free, man. But also, I don't know about the CTE thing. Might be brutal though. I wouldn't want to go through that. I'm 2% Italian according to ancestry. Hey, man, embrace it. All right. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring up that article so we can look at according to NSP Sports. And the NSP Sports, I think this is an article from Matt Miyoko. Is that who it is? Yeah, it's Matt Miyoko, who thinks that these are good fits for the San Francisco 49ers. So this is a very respected 49ers insider that knows a lot about the 49ers, and his opinion is actually very valuable. I know I criticized his mock draft recently. If you guys have seen it, he has us taking Tyler Warren at the 11th pick. I think it's a terrible idea. I think it's one of the dumbest things you could possibly do. But we'll see as it goes. Maybe his mock draft will change, but I was not happy with his mock draft. Let's see what his top 5 trade destinations for Deebo Samuel. Come on. Pa! All right, okay. Send Deebo to Steelers. I wouldn't mind that. Titans, I wouldn't mind that. Raiders, I wouldn't mind that. Sleeper teams can be Dolphins. I wouldn't mind sending the Dolphins either. I do like your idea of sending him to the AFC. That is something you should do, definitely, 110%. All right, so number 1 team, according to Matt Miyoko, is Buffalo Bills. This is what he has to say. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what he has to say here. So you guys can kind of read it too. Josh Allen isn't surrounded by many offensive playmakers, making Samuel a good fit because of the ability to help as a receiver and rusher. Opposing defenses cannot play a steady diet on man coverage against Buffalo. If defenders are running with their backs turned, it opens a huge lanes for Allen to run. He has rushed for more than 1,055 yards and 27 touchdowns over the past 2 seasons, a lot of last year. No, is he talking? I think he's talking about Allen. Never mind. I'll say a lot of those yards are carried over from fucking Deebo, but he's not talking about Samuel there. Samuel's best against zone coverages, and that is a good fit for the Bills' need for their offense. Slot receiver Khalil Shakir caught 76 passes for 821 yards last season. Their next best wide receiver was Matt Collins, who had 31 receptions for 378 yards and 5 touchdowns. So they could use a playmaker, maybe somebody who can needs a new scenery. I do think Buffalo Bills would be good for him. I do like this fit. However, I don't like the idea of helping out an actual Super Bowl contender. I don't actually like the idea of sending him to a Super Bowl contender. Just because of his diva-ness, and you're kind of catering to that, I think, and I don't like that. So I don't know. I really don't know who's on the rest of this list, but I do not like the idea of sending to the Buffalo Bills just because of the Super Bowl contender of it all. But if I was the Buffalo Bills, I'd be open to it. If I can't, I would much rather try to get Devontae Adams if I could. I'd much rather try to get Cooper Kupp if I could. But if I couldn't land those guys, maybe I'd be interested in Deebo Samuel if I was Buffalo Bills. So next up, you got the Los Angeles Chargers as a possible option. The 49ers might be reluctant to send Samuel to Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers, but if that's the best deal available, that's a move they should be made. I have no problem with it. The Chargers will look to add to their group of wide receivers this offseason. Rookie Ladd McConkey was a fine selection in the 2024 NFL Draft as he caught 82 passes for 1,149 yards and 7 touchdowns. Offensive coordinator Greg Roman is a master at designing the run game, and there's an opportunity to get some production for Samuel in that area too. That's actually a good point. Greg Roman is more of a run game guy. We're all familiar with him from the 49ers when he was with Jim Harbaugh, and he was our offensive coordinator with Kaepernick, etc. I do think it's a great fit for Deebo. I mean, he wouldn't have to go very far moving wise, and it would help out Justin Herbert a little bit. I don't believe in the Chargers. I know Jim Harbaugh is a phenomenal coach, and if he can get Justin Herbert to the Super Bowl, it would possibly be him. But I still don't believe in the Chargers. Just for some reason, you call me a Justin Herbert hater. Okay, call me a hater, all right? But I just don't believe in Justin Herbert, and that's just me. But Greg Roman is a running back kind of type guy. He's a run game type guy. So this would be a great fit for the Chargers. If I'm the 49ers, I wouldn't even mind sending him to the Chargers, right? But I do know that there's some animosity with Jed York and Jim Harbaugh. So maybe Jed York's like, we're not doing any business with that motherfucker. That's a possibility. But if that's not the case, then I think that's a great spot for Deebo Samuel trading to the Chargers. I like the idea. Heck, maybe you take Deebo and we get Joey Bosa off your hands. Just saying. Not a bad option. Not a bad option. Washington Commanders. The 12-5 Commanders arrived sooner than expected, led by quarterback Jaden Daniels, who won NFL Rookie of the Year. And the Washington made noise in postseason with 45-31 dismantling the top seed Detroit Lions in the second round of the playoffs. There would be no pressure on Samuel to be the number one wide receiver, and frankly, those days are gone. Couldn't agree more. Washington has explosive Terry McLaurin and caught 82 passes for 1,096 yards and 13 tutties. The unknown general manager, Adam Peters. Did you say the unknown? Oh, okay. Never mind. The unknown is general manager Adam Peters. He was part of the 49ers personnel. As I say, we all know who that guy is. 49ers personnel department that brought Samuel to the club in 2019. He has been with Samuel every step of the way. It's difficult to determine at this point whether that makes the Commanders more or less inclined to pursue him. That is a good point. Was Adam Peters actually a big fan of him? Was he impressed with him? Was he part of one of the reasons why Samuel came to the 49ers in 2019? We don't really know. I heard more that it was more of a Kyle Shanahan gem than an Adam Peters gem, because it usually tends to come out sometimes. But, I mean, it would be familiar, right? It would be somebody that the 49ers have connections with, someone Kyle Shanahan could speak to someone he's familiar with, be like, hey, man, we like Samuel. We want to send him somewhere, we respect, and we all know that Kyle and Debo have a respect for each other. They like each other. They're friends, actually, in the end. So maybe Kyle's like, okay, I'll scratch your back and send you somewhere you actually like, which I think the Commanders would be a great fit. I think it'd be a good spot. I mean, they obviously already have their wide receiver in Terry McLaurin. They're working with that. They just need more of a bulldozing, jet sweep kind of type guy. And Debo Samuel could be that dude, And Terry McLaurin, though, has shown that he can handle he could do screens, et cetera, right? But I don't think I've seen many jet sweeps. And I think that's something that maybe the Commanders can get out of Debo Samuel in the end. Maybe that's a possibility. I like the idea of him going to the Commanders. I mean, especially if Kyle Shanahan still respects Debo, and I'm willing to bank on it that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are still friends with Adam Peters. So maybe that's actually a really good potential opportunity there. But if I'm Adam Peters, though, I would not. There's nothing on my team I want to give up, right? I mean, I just built my team. There's nothing to give up to get Debo. I just think it'd just be hard to get rid of him, because, like I said, you might as well trade him until after June 1st. You got to trade him after June 1st. If it's just a 5th or 6th rounder, wait until after June 1st and get that next year. Okay. No one's going to cry just because, oh my God, you traded him before June 1st. You should have took that cap hit and that 5th round draft pick. Fuck that. Not worth it. Wait until June 1st and get a 5th round draft pick for the next draft. Way more suitable for the 49ers. Pittsburgh Steelers. A year ago, the Steelers wanted Brandon Ayuk. However, they did not have a player to send back to the 49ers, which would have made it okay for them to part ways with their top wide receiver. The 49ers worked out a long-term extension with Ayuk for better or worse. I don't like how you word that. It's kind of fucked up. I mean, give the guy a chance, man. There was some drama, and this year he can redeem himself. Samuel is now available, and the 49ers appear prepared to move on for financial and performance reasons. If Samuel does not want to remain with San Francisco, which is clear, there's no reason for the franchise should want to keep him. The Steelers have to figure out their quarterback situation. Regardless of the answer at that spot, they need help at wide receiver too. Well, here's the thing, man. He's not really a wide receiver. He's way more of a emergency running back, kick returner, punt returner. He's an excellent punt returner, excellent kick returner. I'll give him that, right? And a jet sweep guy and a screen guy, but he's not your man beater. He can't do that. Pause. But so, if you got him, I guess, but you need a wide receiver. The Steelers need a bona fide wide receiver across from Pickens. They don't need a gadget guy, but I do like the fact of trading him there just because it's the AFC, someone we don't have to deal with just in case he wants to get revenge and has one of the greatest seasons ever because he wants to prove the 49ers wrong. And we all know that having a chip on your shoulder is the greatest motivation ever. And I want him to have that motivation somewhere in the AFC. So I don't mind the Steelers. I really don't. I also don't believe in the Steelers. I really don't. So I wouldn't mind trading for that. But if I was the Steelers, I would be looking at other wide receivers. not Deebo Samuel, just because he's not the guy that's you need across from Pickens. So great fit for the 49ers, but I don't think it's a great fit for the Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion. Houston Texans. The Texans were not shy about acquiring wide receiver Stephon Diggs a year ago. However, they do not give Diggs a new contract, which means he is set to hit the open market as an unrestricted free agent. Houston needs more help for the quarterback, CJ Stroud, and coach DeMeco Ryans knows how Samuel, at his best, is game-changing talent and a tone setter. The Texans will not have to pay a steep price to Samuel, and he should be ultra-motivated to help his new team and earn another contract. Oh, yeah, and the 49ers are on the Texans' schedule in 2025, too. Drink some more. So, no, I don't want to send him somewhere where we're going to play him again. That's not somewhere I want to do. And again, if we were to trade him to the Texans, I like DeMeco. If you are DeMeco and you love Samuel, still believe in Samuel, you could be like, hey, I don't remember who the GM is for the Texans. I can't really think on top of my head. I think it's still that ex-Patriots guy. I can't think of his name. And I think he's still in charge of all the personnel and et cetera. So maybe DeMeco Ryans be like, hey, I believe this guy. I could use him really well. I know how to work with him and et cetera. Maybe that's a possibility. But, I mean, setting to a team that you're going to end up playing later on in the year, I don't like that. I really am not interested in that. It'll make for great TV because, like, when you're watching 49ers versus Texans, as you're watching, your eyes are going to be glued to the TV waiting for Samuel to get the ball, right? So there's incentive, like you want to see it, but you also don't want him to get revenge on your team. That's not something you want to see. So as for the Texans, maybe it's a good fit. I do think it's a good fit for the Texans. They do need more weapons, and Samuel will work hard, especially since DeMeco Ryans knows him well, his familiarity. So if you wanted to trade for him, that would be a good spot for him. But as a 49ers fan, I would not want to trade him there just because we do play that team. And that's my only main reason I want to do that. But in the end, if there's no other suitors and we get a between a fifth to a seventh round pick next year for the guy after June 1st, whatever. I would be all for it. So if I was the Texans, I'd be open to it. If I'm the 49ers, like, let me see if I can send it to somebody else. If not, I guess I'll send it to the Texans. So that is the top 5 trade destinations, according to Matt Maiocco, 49ers insider of the San Francisco 49ers. I like them all for the most part because they do actually make sense. I think that's actually a really good article. I think he made some really good arguments for those teams. So shout out to Matt Maiocco for making a good article and a good situation there, because those do seem realistic. Those actually do seem like real opportunities. So keep an eye on that. All right, let's go ahead and get some of these comments here, and then we'll jump into the next subject. God, dude, I don't know why I always get cotton mouth when I do these live streams. My mouth is like super dry. Italian food. Send Deebo to Steelers Titans. Saw that? Nah, because I know this could be stupid, but trade Deebo to the Ravens for Matabuke. I would not do that. I wouldn't say you're stupid. I wouldn't say stupid. It is the AFC. But I would not give the Ravens another weapon. And I don't know if they can afford him because I think his cap is pretty high. It'd be $15 million, I believe, it would cost teams to have him on the team. Deebo kind of reminds me of OBJ. Watch player pass through a lot of like a blunt, except OBJ actually has a ring. Damn, Juan's like he's going for the cutthroats. Shanking dreams. I go with Bill Belichick method of trading opposite conference, opposite coast, bottom of the conference, New England. Actually, I wouldn't mind doing that either. I wouldn't mind doing it, but the thing is, like, you gotta Kyle Shanahan is probably still likes Deebo, still respects Deebo, and is a big fan of Deebo, especially considering how much they played him last year. You could tell that Kyle's fond of Deebo, and so is John Lynch, maybe. But so Kyle may be like, let's send you somebody that you will like, that you respect, and I respect you enough to send you to somebody who you think will win. So I would be kind of shocked if he ends up going to somewhere like New England or the Browns or anything like that. I would be like, okay, you're going to the Browns, dude. Okay, you're going to the Patriots, this bullshit. But I'm trying to think from Kyle's shoes of how he likes Deebo and respects him. He's going to send him to somewhere he likes and wants to go for sure. That's what I think is going to happen. Maybe the Broncos. I heard recently that Deebo Samuel's speaking really high of Broncos and is big fond of him and actually wants to. I've heard there was an Instagram post where he reacted to him wearing a Broncos jersey, saying it looks tough. Could send him to the Broncos. I'm all for that. Send him to the Broncos, man. I don't mind that. Broncos would be a good option too. I trade him to the Bills. They're not going to Super Bowl for a while. We won't face them for a while either. They're still Super Bowl contenders, though. You know what I mean? This is business, never personal. Deebo already has a black leather shorts outfit for the Pittsburgh. That walk was sassy too. Like he didn't have okay, wear what you want, but you didn't have to whip out the sassiness with it too. Deebo and Pickens on the same teams as cesspool. Yeah, so that's a lot of divaness. So it kind of works with the Steelers with all the diva stuff that's happening. So it kind of works. Terradome wants to send him to New England. Oh my God. You know what? Mike Vrabel is an excellent coach. I mean, I believe in Mike Vrabel. I think he's an excellent coach. So maybe you're setting him to for a good season. There might be good things happening in New England. So if we can't get Garrett, what about Deebo for Joke? That linebacker. Man, he's really young, isn't he? Let me check to see. Hold on. Spot track. Not Nikola Jokic. I don't know his real name. Hold on. There, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. That's who he is. Let's take a look at his contract and his situation according to Spot Track here. Ads! Enough with the ads. Holy shit. This is why I hate this site, man. They got so many ads in this thing, I could barely access the information. Okay, so his cap hit in 2025 would be $3 million dead cap of $16 million. So they would still take a huge dead cap hit. So, I mean, he'd be cheap, but he's super young. I don't see them wanting to trade someone young like that. They wouldn't trade a 26-year-old for a 29-year-old who had a down year for someone who's fantastic. You would have to trade Deebo and like another piece to make it happen. And I would be shocked if the 49ers, if the Browns were even interested in trading that. So, Samuel in the house. That shit sucked yesterday. I thought I was losing the conference championship. It was bad. But God damn it, that's whatever. Hold up. Were the Commanders top 5? According to Matt Miyoko, he thinks it's a good option for Deebo to go there, and I'm all for it. I mean, I don't know if you remember this or not, dude, but I don't know if you know this, but Adam Peters, your guys' GM, is the 49ers' former assistant GM. And that's the reason why I like the Commanders in the first place, because I really like Adam Peters. I respect him a lot, and I knew he was going to do good, and he did in the end. So that's one reason why I liked him. If Deebo and the Texans beat the Niners, he shall not be named. We'll be like, Kyle Shanahan does it again with another terrible trick. His coaching tree somehow outsmarts. Kyle's on the hot seat. Yeah, you're right. That's true. Can't have shit like that. How about Josh Allen, Jonathan Allen? Do it. Do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Deal. Yeah. Deal. Let's do it. I'd give up Deebo for Turpin. I wouldn't do that. I'd much rather get a draft pick next year than do that. I realize the joke idea would be bad, but he plays weak side linebacker. We could trade Greenlaw back. Would be a real need for him. Yeah, it would. I don't see them get rid of him at all. That'd be kind of crazy. I didn't know Adam Peters was with y'all. Y'all got to throw in like a third and a fifth, though. I'd do it too, man. Payne is fucking, or do Payne straight up. Man, I would take either one of those guys. Like, you don't understand, man. Us 49ers fans don't really believe in Deebo anymore. So if you want Deebo and you think he's going to be good on your team, man, I'm all for it. I'm all for you receiving that guy. Take him. Give us Payne. Give us Jonathan Allen. I'll do it in a heartbeat, dude. We'll pay for the limo. We'll pay for the plane ticket. Oh, my God. All right. So those are the trade destinations for Deebo Samuel, potentially, according to Matt Miyoko. But, yeah. Samuel says, I've always loved Deebo. Yeah, well, hey, man, he's out there. You love him. He's out there. Dude, he's been having bad years for the past 3 years. Technically, his last year wasn't that bad, but in 2022 was terrible. And he got injured, too, as well. 2023 wasn't that bad. he had moments, but it wasn't like all year he was great. And then in 2024, he was like the worst thing ever. So if you want him for $15 million, we trade him to you in a heartbeat. I'm all for it. Yeah. So is Ayuk still on the table? So Samuel, no, I wouldn't say he's on the table. It's too much money. He's going to be the number one wide receiver for us going on. So Debo was insane versus the Eagles, though. He was not this. Was he this previous? Did we play the Eagles previously this year? No, we didn't. But yeah, that was the last time we actually saw dominant Debo was the Eagles game in 2023. That was the last time we saw dominant Debo. That was actually the very last time. So he disappeared. He's gone. He's gone now. So Debo's gone, guys. You gotta let him go. He's gone. Gotta let go, Jack. Gotta let go. All right. So let's jump into the next thing, which is Jed York talking about Brock Purdy's contract. Let's take a look at that. This is quite interesting. It does seem like they both want this to happen and happen soon. So this is according to The Score. They have a weird little article set up here, weird little format. This is, let me bring it up for you guys so you guys can see it. Okay. This is Jed York talking about Brock Purdy and the long-term extension for the quarterback. I know we want Brock here for a long time. I believe we will make that work, York said. York added that he spent time with Purdy's agent last week. So they have been having some talks, maybe talking perks, because we all know, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm pretty sure you do. I'm not saying you guys don't, but sometimes players get perks, right? They get certain days off, for example, or they get like a parking spot, special gym privileges, meeting privileges, etc., things like that. There's under the table stuff that some players work out with, and that could be one of the things. Maybe Purdy's getting a closer spot to the facility. You know, maybe he could show up late if he wants to. Purdy is able for an extension entering his fourth NFL campaign in 2025. The last year of his rookie contract, he's set to earn $5.2 million next season per over the cap. The 25-year-old has been an incredible asset for the 49ers, not only because of his play on the field, but also his minuscule salary. Purdy earned less than $1 million each season from 2022 to 2024 due to the draft position, an immense discount for a starting quarterback, without doubt. San Francisco selected him with the final pick of the 2022 NFL draft. He's expected to become one of the game's highest paid players this offseason. The one-time Pro Bowler led the 49ers. He is a Pro Bowler. 49ers to NFC Championship game as a rookie and Super Bowl 58 last season before missing the playoffs in 2024. Purdy said in January he was hoping for a quick, drama-free negotiation. I want to be able to handle business the right way and do it in a respectful manner, he said at the time. The 49ers will have some big decisions to make this offseason regarding highly paid players on the roster. Having Purdy at such a low cap hit previously allowed the team to hand out lucrative extensions to several of its stars, but that could change with the quarterback set to earn significantly more. San Francisco has already permitted wide receiver deals to seek a trade. So, with that being said, the 49ers and Jed York have talked to the agent, and Jed York has already said in multiple articles that I've seen so far today that they want to keep him around for a long time. It is something that is someone they believe in. They think he's a franchise quarterback. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have already come out saying, we believe in him. He's our franchise quarterback. Kyle has said himself that I believe Brock Purdy will be here for the rest of my career kind of type quarterback. It sounds to me, and I do agree with the article that I read not too long ago about this, that this is going to get done soon. If both teams are already in negotiation situations now, met with the agent last week already, and they already have good feelings and good vibes about this, I got a good feeling this is going to happen before the start of the new year, which is what we want, right? We want that to happen. We want this to get over with and done. I don't care how much he gets paid in the end. If he gets paid way too much money than I thought he would get, fine, whatever. It's over with and done. Don't have to worry about the quarterback controversy. Don't have to worry about the drama anymore. So this sounds like this is going to get done sooner rather than later, compared to what an article I read not too long ago of Tim Kawakami saying that this could drag on for months. So it's good to know that article has been that article's being kind of swept aside. Those kind of rumors have been kind of swept aside, and that the number one priority right now is Brock Purdy. Some people are saying that Brock Purdy. Some people are saying like, hey, well, what about Kittle? What about Fred? Don't have to worry about those guys, right? You don't have to worry about it until after the draft for their extensions. Okay, they're gonna get extended, and they do tend to work out extensions and restructures in June and July. So, right, they're not looking for contracts, or they're not unrestricted free agents that we have to worry about. Kittle and Fred are going to get their due. They're going to get their payment. But right now, Brock Purdy contract is important, and the unrestricted free agents that the 49ers want to keep in the end are what's more important at this point. So I'm really excited about this. I'm glad that the team feels this way. I'm glad that the vibes coming out of this is that, hey, he's going to get signed and he's going to be here. So, guys, all those trade rumors, all those draft things. Oh, but what if Brock Purdy gets traded? It's not happening. I would be shocked based on the vibes and what I'm hearing about from other teams. So, yeah, that's the thing, man. Brock Purdy, dude. Jed York's on board. John Lynch's on board. Kyle Shanahan's on board. Brock Purdy's on board. He's going to be here, and he's going to sign soon. So, all right. All right. Just thinking if we can get Debo alongside McLaurin and potentially trade 2 firsts for Garrett, we could contend. I don't think you guys don't even need Debo or Myles Garrett to contend. I think you guys are really good. I think you guys got a bright future. But yeah, if you guys get Myles Garrett, that would be dope. I think you guys can get that. I think you guys can get Myles. I think there's a good chance that you guys will get Myles Garrett if they end up deciding to trade him in the end. I'm pretty sure they will, but we'll see. Watch Debo put up 1,000 yards next. It's possible, dude, but he's not going to do it with us, and he wasn't going to do it with us. It's kind of the same thing with Jake Moody. Like, Jake Moody is trash with us, but hey, there is always that what if scenario where if he goes somewhere else, he has a new scenery, he plays better, and he could be a great kicker with them. He's just not going to be a great kicker with us. That's just how it is. Same thing with Debo. Debo could go somewhere else, play hard, play with a chip on his shoulder, and just have a phenomenal year. What people have to realize is he was not going to have a phenomenal year with us. That was not going to happen. So it's definitely possible he could put up 1,000 yards next season. Also, you hear about my GOAT, Cliff Kingsbury, declining head coaching job to stay with the Saints. I didn't hear about that. I didn't hear about that. Kellen Moore is going to head over there. I think Purdy's contract will be done before the draft, but after free agency, it'll be 53 to 55 million. I'm going to say I'm still sticking with what I've been saying, 58 to 59 million. That's what I think is going to happen. But yeah, I think it's going to be done before the free agency. I think it's going to be done before that. But as long as it's before the draft, I'll take that too. But it just can't be when the 49ers report, because there is a time when they report in April before the draft. I can't, sometime like in the 14th or 13th or whatever, they have voluntary OTAs. I want Brock Purdy there. And I know Brock Purdy wants to be there. So before that time as well would be nice. Honestly, Purdy and Hurts are can't speak. Honestly, Purdy and Hurts, most overhated QBs in the NFL. This is from me, a Commanders fan. Yeah, Purdy and Hurts get a lot of hate. That's true. It's true. Not wrong. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into some free agent D tackles that I actually like, and then we'll bounce out of here. Ooh. Hold on. Capper's in the house. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Nothing much, man. Just doing a show, having a good time, having a great conversation with some awesome people. Glad you're here, man. Glad you can make it. You don't need any. We're gonna trade you Allen or Payne. I'll take that, dude. Honestly, I'll trade you a 5th round pick right now for Allen or Payne. I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now. All right. So I don't have the list of these D tackles here. So I do have a list of what I've written down of some D tackles that I did some research on from PFF. So if you guys respect PFF, you like PFF, these are some good options for the 49ers to go after. None of these D tackles are going to ask for a shit ton of money. Well, they shouldn't ask for a shit ton of money because they're not like top 10 D tackles. They're not going to break the bank for these guys. These guys are starting D tackles that the 49ers should be able to afford. Keep in mind that usually teams have like 2 D tackles on the roster. So if you have 2 D tackles on the roster, a starting D tackle is between 1 and 64, right? If there's usually 2 D tackles on the team on the line at a time, 1 through 64 is a starting D tackle. So ranked wise. So let's go ahead and jump into those D tackle situations. The ones that I think the 49ers should go after. I got all 4 of them written down here. Let's start with the one that the 49ers are more familiar with, just because we like this guy. We're familiar with his game. He's been part of the team. He was with the 49ers for quite some time. He was a gem, I believe, 6th round or undrafted. I don't exactly remember where, but I think he was 6th round. DJ Jones. He's going to be a free agent this upcoming free agency class. And he didn't have the greatest year this year. I don't think he played all of his games this year either. They didn't use him that much. But he did play pretty good. Technically, he is a starting D tackle in this league, but back end somewhat. So he's way more of a back end starting D tackle, which is better than depth. DJ Jones is a 71.2 pass rushing grade, which was 31st in the league. So technically, he's a top half pass rusher. His run defense, however, fell all the way down to 58th. So he's on the back end of a starting D tackle run defense, which is way more of a priority for us. We don't need pass rushing D tackles. But the reason why I would want him is because he's still a guy that we're familiar with, someone we respect, we like, and he's not going to break the bank, especially with him being 30 years old. He's going to be 30 by the time he starts for us. So I do like DJ Jones, and maybe we can bring him in, especially with Robert Saleh, because I think he played with Robert Saleh and he was there with Robert Saleh. So maybe Robert Saleh can bring him in by saying, hey, maybe Robert Saleh can come in here. So DJ Jones might be able to convince him to come in. Robert Saleh may be able to convince DJ Jones to come in, and I'm all for it. Technically still a starting rainbow D tackle. So next up, we got Teair Tart. He's 27 years old. This is the best available D tackle, in my opinion, just according to PFF. According to PFF, Teair Tart from the Chargers, right? Check this out, guys. Check this out, right? Pass rusher, he's 19th. You're going to get a 19th overall pass rushing D tackle with a 75.6 grade according to PFF, with a 69.7 run defense, which is 21st in the league, 76 overall, which is 17th. He is the 17th ranked D tackle in all of football. So you would have a top team. You would have a top half team in the NFL. Top half D tackle in the NFL. 17th overall. Great option. Great option. I think Teair Tart from the Chargers is such a good option for the 49ers. And again, he's not a top 10 D tackle, not a top 5 D tackle. He should be asking for a lot of money. But in my opinion, according to PFF and his current stats, I just dropped my pen on the floor. He is phenomenal, man. He's a great D tackle. He's only 27 years old at that. So if he can live up to this hype, this guy would be an absolute steal for the 49ers and would not break the bank. Let me go ahead and drink some water. All right. So next up, you got D tackle Levi Onwuzurike. I can't really think of his name. He is 26 years old, only 26, looking for his second contract in the league. He's 6'3", 290. He was a backup D tackle essentially for the Lions. He was the second option. He has phenomenal stats. He was 46, again, 1 through 64 as a starting D tackle. 46 in pass rushing, 41st in run defense. Okay, so he's kind of close to the top half there. And he's a 69.4 overall grade. So he's 33rd in the league, D tackle. And he's only 26 years old. I think he'd be great for the 49ers. Another steal, I think. This year he had 21 solo tackles, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble. He was 31st in defensive snaps, so he didn't play all the snaps. 29 hurries, which was 16th in the league. 13 hits, which was 7th in the league. And 45 pressures, which was 15th in the league. So he has top half stats according to PFF, and just the stats alone, I guess, not PFF. So Levi Anuazuruke would be a great option for the Detroit Lions. I absolutely love I love that option too. So far my favorite options are Tierra Tart, Levi Anuazuruke, DJ Jones, just because he has that familiarity with Robert Saleh, and he was a back half starting D tackle. Last but not least, this is one that a lot of people are connected the 49ers to. I'm not the biggest fan of him. He's a little old. He will be 30 years old, just like DJ Jones, but he doesn't have that connection. So we might not be able to get him for free, for cheap. And I think he's going to be a hot commodity, but according to PFF, he has a 64.2 pass rushing grade, which is 66th in the league. So it's just past the starting D tackle threshold. However, he is a 69. Nice. 69. Nice. 0.2 run stopping grade, which is 22nd in the league. So he does have a starting run stopping ability with BJ Hill. I like that guy. I like BJ Hill. I think it's a good option. And my only concern is I think BJ Hill, even though according to PFF, he's not the best available D tackle. I got a feeling just based on hype and his name, he's going to get a bag. He's probably the most expensive D tackle just because he's a veteran and the name is familiar, et cetera. I think that's what's going to happen. He's probably get the highest paid. But I do think that the steals for the D tackles for San Francisco 49ers, and I would be ecstatic. I actually would love these guys. Was Tierra Tart, Levi Anuazuruke. If we can get either one of those guys relatively cheap, I'm all for it. So those are some D tackles the 49ers should go after. The rest, honestly, if you go look at the rest of the free agents, I tried to find more that would be good. I did find some, but they weren't like they didn't have any pass rushing ability. They weren't necessarily starting guys. They were just guys that were that had good run stopping ability, right? And that's it. Their pass rushing grade was not good. They're only good at stopping the run. And the guys are, and just so as honorable mentions, these guys are Sebastian Joseph Day. He had a 52.3 pass rushing grade, which was 191st in the league. However, his run stopping ability was 8th in the league with 77.9. Sebastian Joseph Day might be a steal in the end just because of that run stopping ability. Mike Hecht from the Rams, right? I thought he was more of a DN than a D tackle, but he was 20th in the league in run stopping ability, 103rd in pass rushing ability. So you might be able to get him for relatively cheap as well. Another one that's kind of under the radar, only good at stopping the run, which is Bobby Brown III. He has 67.7 run stopping grade. His pass rushing grade was once again in the 50s, which is really bad. So he has a 27th ranked run stopping ability, which is not bad. Taquan Graham is not a bad option either. Poor pass rushing ability. He was 28th in the league in run stopping ability with 67.4. So those are some honorable mentions. While another one that's pretty good, here's another honorable mention D tackle from the Eagles, right? And he had a great game in the Super Bowl, according to some people on TikTok. Milton Williams is supposed to be on the depth chart of the D tackles for the Eagles. He has a whopping, and I mean, this is crazy. We don't need a pass rushing D tackle. We honestly don't. We got plenty of those, I feel like. We need a run stopping. That's the biggest issue. But, however, at 25 years old, Milton Williams has a 90.4 pass rushing grade, which is 4th in the league. That is nasty, dude. That is nasty. If you could turn him into a good run stopper, dude, you might have a phenomenal D tackle on your hands. But his run stopping ability is literally one of the worst with a 43.1. Milton Williams has a 43.1 run stopping ability, so he doesn't have a good run stopping record. But so those are the D tackles the 49ers can go after that I like, that I believe in, that I really hope that we come away with one of them, because we cannot go into the draft with not addressing the run stopping need of the 49ers. The run stopping D tackle situation is super important. It's something the 49ers need to do ASAP. It's something they need to address ASAP. And there's about 7 to 8 D tackles the 49ers can get in free agency that would be starting run stopping D tackles. There's about 7 of them. 7. So there's options. So if we don't sign a D tackle, I would be shocked. If we don't sign at least one of these guys, I would be shocked. So let's get some of these comments. These comments weren't about the players talking about. They're talking about the logo. He can't be that good if his name is Pierre. It's his name is Tier Tart. Sam, you got me there. Sam, that's even more hating on the Tart name just because of Chakowski Tart. Let's trade for Buckner. I'm all for it. Let's get Buckner. I wouldn't mind getting Buckner back. I mean, that'd be a nice adjustment too. That'd be a nice guy to swing for, and especially familiar with Robert Saleh. I'd be all for that. Debo for Buckner. Let's do it. We do play the Colts, but hey, we get a better piece in Buckner. I'm all for it. What if you draft Mason Graham from Michigan? That's fine. Have him play next to whatever D tackle you get. Because again, these D tackles you're not breaking the bank for either one of these D tackles. These D tackles aren't like top 10 like D tackles, right? So if we had to get Mason Graham, that's fine. Now we definitely have that D tackle on top of what we already have and Mason Graham. It wouldn't affect the team at all, especially considering the fact that the team usually plays 2 D tackles on the line. So it wouldn't be the end of the world. Not only that, I think Mason Graham could if we move to a 3-4 defense, that would be fine because he can obviously play left end or right end on a 3-4 or on a 4-3. He would definitely take a place in one of those 2 D tackle situations. So it wouldn't be a problem. However, Mason Graham would not fall to 11. Mason Graham is not falling to 11. Will Johnson is not falling to 11. Abdul Carter is not falling to 11, and Travis Hunter are not falling to 11. Those are the 4 must-draft players if those are the 4 players that if those players fall to the 49ers, you need to draft them. I don't care about need. If Will Johnson, the corner, falls to you, Mason Graham falls to you, Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, I don't think they're even going to touch the 11th pick, but if they do, you need to draft them. Rush, run to the podium. PTSD of Pop-Tarts. Unrelated, but I got Charlie Horse 5 minutes ago and my leg still hurts. Bummer, that shit hurts. Also, when did you get the option super chat and give you money? I got it earlier. When was it? Friday? Thursday? I officially became a YouTube partner on Thursday, I think it was. I could be wrong. I don't remember the exact day, but yeah, man, you are officially looking at a YouTuber. Yeah. So, Papa J was my very first super chat. He popped my cherry. He popped my super chat cherry. Hooked it up, hooked brother up. That was very awesome, man. Yeah, man. I'm officially a YouTube partner. It's a good feeling, man. It's a good feeling. And I appreciate you noticing that, man. Give a shout out. I appreciate that. Trade your pick, a second and Debo for pick 1. I don't know if anybody would do that. Would we trade the 11th pick and the second pick for the first? That's a lot. Like part of me is like, why am I hesitating? But another part of me is like, we got some needs that we can get with that second round pick. Maybe like the first and like a third. I would do that, or like a first and next year's first and Debo. Like I would get rid of picks next year more than picks this year, just because I'd much rather have, because with the so few needs the 49ers need to address this offseason, I would be a lot more inclined to trade picks next year and try to get players who can start this year to fill in those needs. That's something I would much rather do that. Yeah, I would do that. I'd much rather, especially if I'm looking at that first round draft pick as a late 20s pick. That's how I would look at it. It's more like an early second round pick, in my opinion, right? Hopefully 32nd. So, and if I did get the number 1 pick, that's exactly at 1. I would get Abdul Carter. You immediately now have Abdul Carter across from Nick Bosa. That's the first thing that I would do. And you get rid of Debo, and you technically take that 11th pick to move up, and you just had to get rid of Debo and a first next year. So, and you got Abdul Carter, who's supposed to be day one starting pass rusher. So I would do it. I would do that in a heartbeat. But I would not trade that second round pick just because that second round pick needs to be an offensive lineman, a D tackle at that point, something of that nature. I would trade more of a third round draft pick because we have 2/3 and 3/4. I'm just trying to think of this draft strategy of the situation. So I'd much rather get rid of a late first rounder next year than a early second round pick this year. I'd much rather do that because our second rounder is early. It's relatively early. So yeah, I'd much rather trade the first next year. But yeah, that is everything, guys. That is everything we talked about. That's everything we got through. We got through the Deebo Samuel trade situation. Like, where can he go? Where should he go? The D tackle situation of all the D tackles the 49ers could get in the end. We did not get to the pass rushers. That's something we'll do another time. We'll jump into the pass rushers. I'll do more research on that. But those are some D tackles that the 49ers should consider to get in the end. We checked out some trade destinations according to Matt Miyoko. We bullshit and had a good time. Samuel, Juan, Papa J, everyone else came in here, Cappers, Val, appreciate you guys coming up in here. We had a great conversation. And I appreciate Samuel. It's all right, man. You don't have to get super chats, stuff like that. I appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. Helps sports channel and stuff like that. But you don't ever feel like you have to or feel forced to or anything like that, man. So I appreciate it though, dude. I know you would if you could. All right. So I'm gonna bounce, guys. I'm gonna take off. I gotta make some dinner. It is homemade chicken nuggets, mashed potatoes, and corn. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Homemade chicken nuggets. Let's do it. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for being part of this live. Juan, you're awesome, man. I appreciate you always in this live, dude. You're always welcome. Samuel as well, man. Congratulations on your Commanders and the bright future of the Commanders. I'm a big fan of you guys, and I hope you guys actually do win a Super Bowl at some point. I truly, I'm a big fan of what you guys are doing over there. Jaden Daniels, Adam Peters. I like what you got going on. Papa J, the best Mata Broken Escort. Appreciate you. Cappers capping. I always fuck this up. Cappers capping cap. Thank you so much for being part of this live, man. You're good, dude. I appreciate you jumping in, finding fun time to make it. Spartan Virtus, thank you so much for being part of this live as well, man. I appreciate your input about Joke. If we can get him, that'd be awesome. I'm all for it, man. Terradome, as always, dude, you're a good dude, man. Be sure to check out Terradome's content, guys. He's a good dude. Usually has a lot of people in his lives, and they shoot the shit really well. They have a great time. It's a good vibe over there, so check them out if you're a 49ers fan. Rams are dangerous. Thank you so much for being respectful, coming up in here. Just you were a good guy, man. I appreciate it, and that's all I want, man. Like, you could be a rival or whatever, but as long as you guys are, getting along, we're good. I appreciate you coming here and showing some love. Michael, as always, man, I'm happy for you. Congratulations to your daughter winning the Super Bowl. Nikita, thank you so much for being part of this, man. Congratulations to your team winning the Super Bowl. Who else we got? And Val, of course. I can always count on you to show up and represent, as always. So, all right, guys, I'm going to bounce. And as always, man, this is my dream. This is something I love doing. I never thought I'd get this far. I never thought I'd be a YouTube partner. I still grin at the thought that, like, well, I can't believe this is fucking happening. So it's because of you guys. So from my heart to you guys, thank you guys so much for making this experience what it is. And this experience has just been one of the best things in my life. I know that sounds kind of stupid to some people or whatever, but this has been just one of the best experiences I have ever had, truly. And it's because of you guys. So thank you guys so much for making it what it is. To everyone who watches this later, sub. If you haven't subbed already, you can be part of the Wolfpack, be part of the conversation. Because at the end of the day, all these lives all this content is just having a conversation about football. Because we love football. Like the live. Because it helps me out. It helps the video goes out. It helps everything go out. It helps everything about this channel. And it supports me. And I'm very thankful for that. And, of course, every single like makes my 49ers heart grow from here to here. All love, fam. I'll see you next video. Bang, bang, Niner gang, baby.